Hey guys, what I have for you today is probably my most involved restoration project of a ceiling fan. This is a 1920s Emerson Longnose Type 45641 non-reversible ceiling fan. Based on the tag, this fan was probably made sometime in the mid-1920s. This is the style of tag that came right after the round tag. If you see one of these with a round tag, you can actually kind of see where the casting was modified so they could put the rectangular tag on. But the round tag is the first run of this type of ceiling fan that I believe they started in 1918 or maybe 1919. I think this is the second iteration. So it has the terminal block, it has the speed coil cover with the vents on it. The very first one did not have vents, it has solid cover. It's non-reversible. If you look on the bottom, the rotor is actually flush with the bottom plate. And that's something they changed on the later fans. They went to a rotor that was recessed a little bit. You can see I left these light pipe, light tubing brass screws. I left them brass. I did not paint them. I thought that was a nice little highlight. So this fan originally had a snap switch on the bottom, and it was in pretty rough shape, and I wasn't really interested in paying a ton of money to get a replacement because they're pretty hard to find. So I did a retrofit with a standard pull chain mounted vertically. I used a little round disc of steel and drilled a hole for the pull chain and then two other holes with some nylon standoffs going, or spacers going up into the switch housing. It works really well, and the brass kind of matches up with the brass on the light fitter screws. It's not bad. It's not original, but it's pretty discreet and it works well and it's safe, and it's a non-destructive modification, which is more than you can say for a lot of the stuff you see done to these fans. You see a lot of people drilling into that switch housing and putting a pull chain right into there, so I didn't want to do anything that's irreversible like that. But yeah, anyways, these blades took a lot of work. Had to completely strip them and sand them. A little nick there or something, but these are 14-degree blade irons. You can see right there it says 14 degrees. These are the longer blades, so longer blades, and then these irons are shorter than the ones on my Emerson round nose, so that combination gives you 56 inches. And theoretically, with the two different blade sizes and two different iron sizes, you could get 52, 56, or 60 inches from these fans while maintaining the same aesthetic, same style. So that's nice. The canopy is brass, painted black. And this is the adjustable down rod. Now usually, originally they had a brass, it's called an egg, basically like a two-part cover that covers up that coupling. This one does not have it. They're very thin brass. They usually don't survive. This thing will be a little bit of a pain to get up because I'll have to disconnect this part here that slides up and down, and then put the canopy on, and then put it back on, and then hang it up on the ceiling. But I kind of like it. It's a little bit more interesting to look at than just a normal pipe. But right now, this thing is adjusted for maybe a 9.5 or 9 foot ceiling, since this has no light kit. Okay, so at the end of this clip, I'm going to show some videos of it running. I'm going to do that now before the clips. I want to show you some clips from during the restoration project so you can see all that was involved. Mechanically, it was very, very similar to the 1941 Emerson round nose that I restored a few months ago, and that's now hanging in my house in Texas. But just really mechanically the same fan. I think this has a higher current rating, but that, I don't know, but it doesn't have an amperage rating. What's kind of cool about this old tag is it actually gives the speed 225 RPM, and that's something you really only see on the oldest fans. But yeah, just a really handsome fan, and this is a Krylon satin black finish, the same finish I did on the round nose. I used Krylon self-etching primer, and then satin black main coat, and then a satin clear coat over that to protect it. Gives a good sheen. I put a little bit of like wax on it to give it a little bit more shine. It's definitely more ornate than the round nose is, but not so much that it would, look too frilly. It kind of has a, mechanical look to it. It has a beautiful top cast. Like, I really hope this fan gets installed somewhere where you can see the top of it, like coming down a staircase, because I think this is just really cool. So anyways, let's go to that clip show. Actually, before that clip show, I'm going to power it up. I believe it's on low speed now. The pull chain is down there. I did that retrofit, so I can't really get to it, but yeah, let's go ahead and start it up on low. So you might have heard just a little bit of buzzing when it was starting up, but now that it's running, that went away. And after I've restored a couple of fans, I've kind of noticed that a little bit of buzzing is not really a problem. If it's something that's really obvious when it's running, maybe, but any small buzz like that, you're not going to hear it when the fan is actually running with blades on it. But when I restored this fan, it got a full coating of Dolph's spray lacquer, or spray varnish, on the windings and on the speed coil. So it should be in pretty good shape in that department. You can see though, it's a really smooth runner. There's not much bearing noise. The bearings were in great shape when I took it apart. Not much bearing noise, not much, I don't know, sometimes you kind of get a whoosh 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 sound or something like that. Now I'm going to take power off of it and let it coast down. If I can get this. Yeah, just super smooth. Takes about a minute and a half to stop. That's a good healthy number. Alright guys, let's go to the clips from the restoration.